Okay, we are checking everything up. Okay. Okay, check. Let me go into OBS. And we're gonna get this going on. Give me a second, guys. We're gonna get our live stream up and running. Okay. We should be live on everything here. Let's see if we are. Okay. Can everyone hear me? Should be cutting over to my screen on my camera. Oops. Okay. There we go. See if we are. Okay. There we go. Cool. We are getting ready, guys. Let me get some stuff going on here and seeing if everything is running smoothly as possible. But today we're going to be talking about pre-production. Let's see here. Okay. Boom. All right, so what we're going to do, guys, we're going to be talking a little bit about pre-production today and, you know, the essentials, the basics of pre-production. We're not going to go into the main grit of, you know, different subjects in pre-production. This is just some general overview of how to get started into pre-production. You know, my name is Luke Reether. I'm a director of photography. So, you know, my specialty lies in mainly photography and cinematography, not producing. But we're going to get into some of the stuff that I've learned throughout my years of doing productions and my own productions and share you guys some tips and tricks to get going from it. I feel like there's a lot of confusion between pre-production and pre-development, and that's another thing that we're going to go into. Give me 1 second. Let me switch it over to the slides, and we should be getting ready to get going. Okay, so we're going to go in here. So our lecture today, we're going to be talking about introduction to pre-production, like I was saying. What is pre-production, pre-development, and pre-production, importance of a budget, marketing and distribution tactics, and implementing AI and pre-planning, or your pre-production itself. Again, this is just a general overview, so you know, we'll get into more detail on each subject as the classes go along. Let's just get started here. Our first thing here is introduction to pre-production. So let me ask you guys, does anyone know what pre-production is? Right, pre-production is actually the phase of filmmaking. It is the phase after you get done with your budgeting, your concept, everything like that. And again, there is some confusion between development and pre-production. And I feel like the main confusion comes along of when we get our crew, when everything starts to get assembled, and the pre-development stage actually starts with your concept, with your script, you're writing your script, everything like that. So I got a general slide here just to give you guys some more overview of what pre-production really is. I will be sending this out to all our email subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed to our email, feel free to do so at lightinside.tv, and that's going to help you guys in the long run. Trust me, I put together a lot of information inside these slides for you guys. This right here, though, pre-production, I feel is the most vital part of pre-production, of the whole filmmaking process. And, with that being said, if you don't do proper pre-planning, you're not going to have a well-oiled machine. Everyone can tell you pre-pro, pre-pro, pre-pro. And pre-production is vital. It is the key to success when it comes to creating your movies. Now, can everyone hear me? I think everyone can. Okay, cool. It's a lot different than, trying to do it live and in person. So I want to make sure that all the live people can hear me clearly. Yeah. Okay. All right. So with that being said, your quality, your script matters the most, and honestly, when you start in your development stage, have people read through your script, have people go through it. I encourage you guys to rewrite, because your script is never done until it's done in post-production. When we move into the pre-production phase, that means that you got your budget in order, you got your marketing and your target audience in order, like all your marketing tactics, your distribution, where you're going to take the film. You have all that in order before you actually go into the production phase. So there's that. Okay, any questions? Okay, so let's move on. So what does this mean? It means that, we got our development, pre-production, production, post-production. Those are the 4 phases in your main movie making, your main movie production itself. And there's going into stages, we have the development where it goes into your ideas, it goes into all your legal ownerships, your copyrights, everything like that. You're literally forming a business at this point. So you got to have all your ducks in a row before you start trying to present it and get money and everything like that. You got to have a plan in place. So you got to get your rights to all your scripts, make sure that everything that you have is yours and not borrowed from someone else. And your screenplay is written and ready to move into the pre-production phase. Pre-production is literally preparation and preparation for the shoot. You got your cast and film crew that you're going to hire. Now, when I say that, you want to have your director of photography and your director implement it into your development stage, so that way we know exactly where we're going with the pre-production as far as the vision, as far as the look goes, etc. And then also you're going to have your location scouter to come out and start looking for locations. And then, or if you're going to shoot in studio, you're going to have your sets built. With your production itself, we'll actually shoot all the raw video. We'll actually, have the community out. That's what I like to call it. We have a community involved when we go out and shoot our productions itself. And the post-production is another vital part. I mean, obviously, you have all this raw footage, so you got to edit it down, and there's stages to that, but we're going to get into the other 3 or the other 2 later on. Not today. We'll go into a different class and break it down to the production and post-production itself. All right, so let's talk about development versus your pre-production. Like we were talking about earlier today, that there is some major confusion when it comes to both these phases. You got your pre-development phase, which is your idea generation, your script writing, your pitching, you're securing the rights, and then you got your pre-production phase where it's budgeting. You have your budget, you have your money in place, so now you're budgeting everything out, you're scheduling everything out, you're casting, you're looking for locations, either studio or remote location, you're storyboarding and shot listing everything, and you're hiring the rest of your crew. So there is a lot of different elements that need to be thought out in order to get a well-oiled machine going or your business started. Now, with your development stage, we got our project producers who select the story, and typically now with indie films, we're basically doing everything ourselves, just because a lot of us don't have the resources like Hollywood actually has, to where they have everyone delegated to a certain role. But 9 times out of 10, you're writing your own script, you're editing your own film, you're wearing multiple hats on your set. And that can come to where you're going to lose focus on one hat versus the other. So it's good to slow down. It's good to find people that has a passion to help you get all the paperwork in order and everything that you need, like film permits. Those are essential when it comes to pre-production. The producer and the screenwriter, they try to prepare that film pitch so that they can get everything ready to go into the pre-production phase. This is some more information about pre-production, guys, and I'm going to run through this relatively quickly, and then we're going to go through questions and answers. If you guys have any questions, you can always come back and ask me at the end of this class. Here's some more where it comes into the roles with your pre-production. Your director of photography is already on board from your pre-development stage. Your director of audio, or your sound supervisor that's supervising all the sound on your production itself, will be on board. The production sound mixer, you'll start looking for them. Your sound designer, composer, the list goes on. And Hollywood sets, they probably have anywhere from 150 to 200 people on board. If you guys want to get involved in a movie production, trust me, there is a place for you. I know that a lot of people try to get to the main roles, like they understand the main roles of, the camera guy or the cinematographer, director of photography, and the director. And, people understand those ones, but they don't understand that there's other positions involved when it comes to crewing up for a production. I mean, you need medics, you need trash services, you need craft, where you're getting all the food and everything like that. There is a lot of positions, so there is something for you out there. So your steps for pre-production, you're gonna start making your production schedule. Now, I'll show you guys a template that I normally use for my scheduling, and if you guys are subscribers again to our email list, I will send you guys out this template that will make life so simple. And I'm not going to show you a picture of that right now, but I'll show you guys a general schedule. You got to schedule everything chronologically to keep that story flow. And normally your second AD will help you out, get everything in order. But if you guys don't have a second AD and you're doing everything, this is one of the crucial steps to start planning it out. Schedule different scenes earlier. Be realistic about your scheduling. Technically, when it comes to scheduling for shots, anyone can tell you max shots you could probably shoot in a day, and this is pushing it, is 15 shots a day. I have pushed it. I have shot about 18, 19 shots in one day, but that is really, really pushing everything. And then, also getting the personnel required for every task. You got, in Hollywood, you have the administration office where you have your accountants, you have your other managers, your producers that are inside this office taking care of all the administrative work as far as permitting, as far as licensing, as far as, contracts, stuff like that. And then you got your main unit production manager that's going to be on board helping make sure everything is organized. Your location scout, your transport manager. The transport manager you'll see on Hollywood sets, not really on indie films where they, come out and pick people up, la-di-da-di-da. Most of the time on indie productions, it's us. We do it all. Production runners and assistants, they basically go out and get what you're needing for your supplies and everything that goes along with it. Okay, so that's what's crucial about everything. And we're going to go in here. So next thing is finding and securing your locations. And when you find and secure your locations, you're going to want to look for, what you're needing for your script, whether it be a bank, whether it be, a office setting. And you got to think about if you're going to be building that set on a sound stage, or if you're going to find a remote location that can fit what you're needing. I know on indie productions, a lot of people steer towards Airbnbs, and that's a most popular item for locations. If you guys have a small budget, Airbnb, it might be the way to go. But you got to find and secure the right locations according to what you have written in your script. And now when you're on set, obviously things can change. I have seen it, trust me. I'm one of those guys that write my scripts like a book, and it can be confusing sometimes. So, I do my best when it comes to that. When it comes to casting, you want to find the right roles. You're going to have auditions, stuff like that. Normally you'll have a casting director on board to help you out. But like for OIF projects, for smaller events, it's 9 times out of 10 going to be you wanting to find the right cast for the role. With production design, this is another crucial thing to think about. This is where you set all the props, the set dressings being, let's say, a tree. Let's say that you need a coffee table, and you're trying to make a living room. Well, you got to think of what's going to go on inside the living room setting itself. When it comes to production design, I feel like that is what's going to make or break your whole visual, emotional mood, per se, inside the film set. If you have a certain mood that the director is wanting to go for, then you gotta portray it. You gotta portray that time period, and figure out the exact settings and the props that you're needing to make it realistic on film. You got to prepare your costumes, props, everything, and you got to make the lighting plot, the floor plans. That's all comes down to the play where you're planning with your director of photography and your gaffer, trying to get the right plans in place. Sometimes on indie productions like the one we recently did, we didn't really have much that we needed. We were outside in the hot sun for 2 days, so when it comes to lighting plots, all we really needed was ourselves and some scrims, which you get away with that on some sets. And then, you got to break down your script itself and figure out exactly what you're shooting and when you're shooting. A lot of people don't make storyboards itself just because, the cost involved and stuff like that. But there is a way to do it with AI now, and we'll talk about implementing that later on to create a storyboard and understand the visuals of what you're trying to go for. Is it necessary on smaller productions? I mean, I would say yes, but I don't use them that much at all when I'm on set. You know, unless I'm actually just doing the cinematography and someone's directing, then they would probably want to see, okay, this is what we are going for, and then that gives me an idea of what the director wants. And you guys got to make that realistic schedule. Here is the schedule of what we got. I don't know if it's clear enough on here or not, but this is just a screen grab of what a shooting schedule would look like. You got your date of your shoot. You got your what you're shooting, your time, where if it's interior, exterior. You got your location where you're going to be shooting, the synopsis of what you're shooting, your characters involved, the props that are going to be needed for that to be shot, any lighting or the lighting plans. You can go on here and actually just put in the page number for the lighting plans. And if you have camera notes on set, this is mainly for on set, then you can add camera notes, or you can also do it in pre-production saying, hey, I want this camera to move, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there's your quote for today, guys. I am breezing past this, so I'm going to make sure that anyone online has any question. Yes, Stephen, you made a good point. When casting, think about lodging as well. Because here's the thing, is when you're casting, you got to find appropriate lodging for everyone, so you got to account for that in your budget as well. I mean, people need to sleep, people need to eat, so there's that. Okay, so now we're getting into more of the budget realm, and we're going to be talking just the generics of what you're going to see on a budget between the above the line and below the line, and how to read a budget, etc. You got to control your costs. You got to have your financial breakdown, your financial planning itself with the breakdown and the pie, everything like that. You got to understand the risks that are going to be involved, especially when it comes to financial risks. You got to create that effective budget and break down all the costs involved, and there is a lot of cost. Guys, let me just say this. Let me stop and say this real quick. There is no such thing as a $0 budget film set. I'm sorry, someone's got to pay for it, and it's either going to be coming out of your pocket or someone else's pocket. There's always expenses involved. Just because you don't have the money and you don't want to pay a cast member or a crew member, there's still expenses involved, and that is, you know, lodging, that is food, that is the locations itself. There's always some sort of cost involved when it comes to a production. So this thing where it's going around, let's do a $0 movie, there's no such thing. Let me just say that. So we don't really need to go into what a movie budget is. I'm sure everyone knows exactly what it is. It's the financial plan, the backbone of the film production. It helps you control everything as far as cost goes, and getting contingency plans in place just in case something doesn't work out according to what you guys are hoping for. So when you break down the budget, these are 4 different things that you got to think about on the above the line costs. And that's your script and right acquisitions. That is your permitting fees, your licensing fees for the scripts, etc. You got your producer fees, your director fees, and cast salaries, all going into the above the line. 9 times out of 10 on the smaller productions, you can skip out on the 4th one, not unless you want to respect all the cast and crew involved and pay them. It is, in my opinion, I feel like everyone should be paid for their time, and it's a value thing. and it's how you see yourself. And truthfully, I want to value everyone involved, and you know, I try my best to get the funding that I need to pay everyone on set. I feel like that's the most crucial thing there is. So when you're breaking down to below the cost, that's when we're coming into the crew salaries. If you guys need equipment, sometimes the DP and the gaffer have their own equipment. They come out for a small fee and we'll go into that later on, because you guys got to learn to rent the equipment from them, just to take the liability off of the DP and the gaffer who's bringing, or whoever is bringing out the equipment. The liability should fall onto the production set, not on the individual bringing the gear out, because there's a lot of people that are going to be touching that gear, from the camera crew and from the lighting department. So it's always good to protect yourself, and you got to understand that you got to have insurance involved. Below the cost also comes into set construction and design, costume and makeups. All that can be, you know, calculated properly, and needs to be calculated properly in order to move forward. Okay, I'm going to slow down for a second and ask if anyone has any questions up to this point. We do have a lot to go through, and I'm trying to go through this pretty quick, you know, but I want to slow down for a second. Yeah. Okay, so above the line, we can go back in here. Above the line is essentially everything that you're coming into, your script and write accusations, stuff like that. That's what your above the line cost is, and I'll show you what it looks like on a budget. Okay. Breaking down the budget. This is fun. We're going to learn a little bit about marketing and promotion, distribution, and the contingency fund. That's all needing to be placed inside your budget as well, to understand what you're needing. When it comes to budget, I normally like to say it's a 20-30 plan. So basically 30% of your entire budget should go to marketing and promotion of your film set, and 20% only should be going to your production itself, the main core of the production. So marketing and distribution should have a 30% set aside for your entire budget. And their contingency funds, your emergency fund. When you're on set, there's things that can happen that are totally unexpected, and you have those unexpected expenses that will come up. So you got to be ready for that. And being ready for that, that's crucial. Okay. Let's talk about how to estimate your cost. We're going to look at research. Okay, so first you want to research everything. Look at similar films in that genre, the genre that you're shooting, and then you got to consult with other industry professionals just to get the realistic cost estimates. Everyone has shot something, you know, so everyone has an idea. There's someone that knows something that you don't know, like me. I don't know everything when it comes to pre-production, but I do know some tricks up my sleeve to get through it. And that's why I'm here, to teach you guys the importance of pre-production on set. And you know, the other thing is getting quotes. When you can get quotes from vendors and other people out there, like your catering, you know, Publix or whatever you're having for food, etc. Yeah, you can use as I was showing, yeah, you can use all your production budgets as a template and keep building from that. So like your past productions, you could take that budget template and say, okay, I need to stick to this and build upon it to fit your current script. that actually goes into right here. Yeah, so creating a budget template. When you're creating a budget template, you want to outline your categories, and you want to break down the cost and input estimates, add contingencies, review, and adjust. And you're coming in here, you're going to list all your major categories above the line, below the line, and post-production, and as we were discussing what they are. You know, post-production costs come into play with your editing, your VFX, your sound design, your composing, your coloring. All that goes into post-production. And then you have your distribution. Then you get to break down all your costs according to line item. So your cast salaries, let's say that you're getting a big name cast like a A-lister on board, you know, and you're paying them $800 a day. You got to have that labeled out. Your location fees, let's say that you rented a sound studio for $1,000 a day, got to have that in place. You know, everything has to be line by line on it. Then you got to figure out your estimates from your quotes. So when we go back to where we were talking about vendors and getting catering, you want to you know, put those quotes in and say, okay, these are the estimates. And then you have another line that shows this is the actual cost of everything, because sometimes the estimates don't add up to the actual cost. So you want to have both estimate and actual cost on your budget. And the budget is going to be continually changing throughout the production process. So you got to be able to update it constantly. And adding the contingency, normally allocate like a 10% of your total budget for unexpected expenses. Some people put like 5%, but having something in place for emergencies is crucial. And then, you know, reviewing and adjusting. You want to continually update it. Like I said, update, update, update. The budget is never done like the script. Even when you go into post-production, it's still not done. Okay, so that's when we're going into our above the line definition. I know some people have asked that, and I was going to get into that. Above the line refers to the key creatives and executive positions involved. Like we were saying, the director of photography, the director, the producer, and there's several different producers that you got to keep in mind when it comes into the above the line, which we'll break down each producer role here in a couple minutes. So here's the roles that you got to be thinking about with the above the line. Your screenwriter, principal cast, executive producer, director of photography, unit production manager. The UPM will oversee all the day-to-day operations, so it's crucial to have them on board from the get-go to help you build everything, especially since we're on indie level here. You know, we got to keep on thinking here. And then you got to understand the different producer roles, because there's a lot of different types of producers. And as you guys know, producers are key figures in our film production itself. And sometimes it's you. Sometimes, you know, we don't have the budget, so you're the director, you're the producer. But I don't encourage you to do that. Because trust me, when your focus is more than multiple, if you're wearing multiple hats, your focus shifts from your main job duty. So it's good to delegate and have people that are excited and passionate about that key position. And producers are very, very important to have on film sets. So, I mean, you got your executive producer. Executive producer doesn't mean that they actually have, millions and millions of dollars in their pocket. They're the ones that come out, they secure the financing, they find people that want to invest in the project. And it's, not always them going to be putting the money in. It's just them looking for the funding. Sometimes they do put the money in, so it just depends. And sometimes it's all of the big studios like Warner Brothers that finances the whole project. And they're considered studio executives for the production. Then we got our standard producer who oversees the entire production from development to distribution of the production. They manage all the budgeting, they manage the scheduling, they manage all the decisions that are being made, and they coordinate and communicate with the writers and the directors and all the key above line personnel that's involved in the production itself. They're always your primary point of contact for the project. So just to think about that. You got your co-producer where they share duties with your main producer itself. A lot of times you're not going to even have a co-producer on set. But hey, you know what? We're thinking positive here. You know, we want to go big, and that's what it's all about. We're going to go big or go home. And yeah. So the other thing is typical involvement. They work closely with the producer to ensure all elements of the production to run smoothly. Okay, I did that. I'm sorry, guys. Then we got your line producer. Your line producer, I know this is the boring part of being the producer part, but some people enjoy all the paperwork, and that's what a line producer does. They get the contracts in order. They supervise everything. They ensure that everything stays on track within the budget itself. You know, and it's really crucial to have the contracts in place and agreements in place between your crew and your cast, because I mean, if it's not written down, it doesn't happen. That's the way I live. You know, I learned that in the military, so there's that. Always have things written down. Then we got your associate producer who assists the producer and co-producer. They assist all the producers on various tasks and responsibilities, and it's all about delegation. And then we got your co-executive producer who works alongside the executive producer in high-level decision making. And then we got our supervising producer. And the supervising producer oversees the creative development of the project. And they primarily work closely with your writers, your editors, your editors as in script writing editors, your directors, and other creatives that are involved with the project itself. And you'd see the supervising producer mainly involved from the development stage as well. Then we got your field producer, where they manage production activities on location, and they help get the logistics in order and your schedules and your crew operations in field. Then lastly, we got our post producer, who oversees the post-production process. And that includes your editing, sound design, composing, you know, all the scoring, the film score, the visual effects, the color grading, everything. They manage that workflow. And I feel like the post-producer is also heavily involved in the principles of photography itself. So here's the below-the-line crew. So below-the-line crew refers to the technical and support staff responsible for the hands-on production work. This includes all your creative visions and bringing everything to life, your gaffer and everything. We'll go into the roles here. So our roles for below-the-line crew, we have our production designer. And your production designer designs the sets. They design they don't design the locations. They come out and get the locations. They help out. They get the props in order. They manage the overall look of the film project itself. And they're mainly involved actually from the development side as well, because you want to start building up the vision of the film from the get-go. Oh, I need a drink. Okay, so we're gonna go in here and talk about the roles, the below the line. We still have the editor, who assembles all the raw footage, cuts everything and makes a movie out of what you guys actually shoot. Your sound designer, who creates the unique sounds that you hear in the movie. 9 times out of 10, I would say 9 times out of 10, but you will hear these, all the footsteps, the doors, door creaking open to anything that you're clicking, like a gun or whatever. That's a sound designer. They get all those audio elements in place, and they're the most respected, I think, in the whole production process, because with that sound design, that's what's really gonna portray the emotions that are going on. And one thing I found out recently is how many different door open and door closing sounds there really is, and staircases, walking up and down the stairs. There's different sounds that you could portray different emotions. Like if you're trying to do a horror film, well, you want that door to be creaking just slowly open, right? You want to give that scary effect to it. So yeah, mad respect to my sound designer on every set. Same with costume designer, makeup artists. On indie film sets, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have them combine as one. But it's crucial to have the right costumes in place to portray the story elements involved, the time period. Your makeup artists, and that even includes your special effects makeup artists. If someone's getting hit or there's a fight, you want to make it more believable, so they create bruises on people's faces to, implement that emotion. Like, we want to make it look realistic. So there's that. And then we got our gaffer, and the gaffer is our head of electrical department, and they are responsible. They're basically like the supervisor of the lighting department. They're responsible for helping out with the floor plans and making sure that the lighting is set up accordingly. You got your key grip that follows right underneath your gaffer, who manages all the grip department. And they're responsible for like camera movement, rigging, supporting equipment like light stands, C stands, you name it, they're there. So then you got your production manager, who handles all the logistics on the set, and your first AD, your second AD, your second of the second AD. Your first AD is assistant director, like literally is their side go-to, and they manage all the shooting schedule, the coordinating, the crew, and ensuring that everything stays on track. It's a little bit different than your UPM, trust me. Your UPM is the guy that's gonna, organize everything and make sure that everything runs smoothly on the set. The first AD is, in your face throughout the production, saying, "Hey, you're running out of time on this, so yeah, like, get us more time." Yeah, and then your common budget pitfalls. I can't get the words out. Oh man, yeah. So underestimating cost, and this happens a lot. I'm witness to it. You got to ensure that all potential expenses are accounted for and have a realistic emergency fund in place. And the other thing that I didn't mention inside your budget is insurance. Guys, I can't stress this enough. Production insurance is the most crucial thing to have on any production, whether it be a low dollar budget production or a multi-million-dollar production. You got to have liability in place to cover everything. And recently we were on a production where we had a friend's antique car come out on our set, and it was a beautiful, like, 1970s Corvette. he lost control, fishtailed, and it went into a wooden railing. Luckily, we had him set as an additional insured on our production insurance, so it's going to be covered. This is why it's just so vital to get production insurance. And one company I will highly recommend to look into is Full Frame Insurance. I mean, it's like $300 for a whole year, and you can add as many additional insurance as you want for $15 extra for your production. Definitely worth it, guys. I definitely vital to have on every production. Okay, so the other thing is over allocation, and avoiding over allocating funds to one area at the expense of others. What I mean by that is literally throwing in all your money, say, to equipment rental. I know everyone wants the most fancy camera there is out there, but if you don't have the funding for it, don't do it. I see a lot of people wanting to allocate a lot of their budget into like a wrap party. I get it. You guys want to throw something nice for them, but maybe allocating less on the wrap party and more into the marketing and distribution. That's the area where you want to look at. Or if you don't, then you can also allocate the extra funds into cast and crew. That's right. There's always something that you can allocate your funding to and make sure everything is properly budgeted correctly for your film sets. And have records of everything, receipts, details of every financial transaction that's made on set, so that way you can have it for tax purposes later on. I would say also, this is one of them that I find that's crucial to have, is flexibility. Your budget should be flexible because there's always something, babe. Always something, that you're going to run into. Yes. All right. Marketing and distribution tactics. This is a fun one. Stephen, you are right. I know a guy too. Okay, so marketing and distribution tactics, guys. Let's go into here. We're going to cover different areas to help you guys write out your marketing plans, figuring out exactly what you guys are wanting to do for your specific genre, specific movie. Why do we need to plan marketing and distribution early? Well, one, again, it aligns to production and market demands and audience preference. You got to find your targeted audience. You got to understand the market itself and understand, okay, is this genre really going to work? How can I get my money back? I know that on short films, you probably won't get your money back, but it could be used more for an educational benefit to help newer cast members get the footage they need for the reels. It can also benefit some, the director of photography if they're just getting into it, finding those new people and, training them on set. So understanding your marketing and understanding your audience is like what age group, what are you trying to go after on it? Then you got to ensure the cohesive strategy for releasing and promoting the film. Where are you going to put it? Are you guys going to be doing film festivals? Are you guys going to try to distribute it to theaters? Are you guys going to try to distribute it online streaming sources? These are things that need to be thought out before you go on set. And identifying that target audience breaks down to understanding the age, the gender, the location, the income level that area is going with, the education that they have, all their interests, the values. Like, you got to think about everything, every little niche when it comes to understanding the target audience. Tools and methods, going into surveying and focus groups, social media analytics, figure out your social media, figure out what's going to work out and what's not, practical tips, we're going to create audience, we're going to identify trends in film consumption and preferences and analyze successful films in the same genre. Choosing the right genre is important. You're not going to write a scary movie and say it's a comedy, right? If you do, then something is wrong. So choosing the right genre. And sometimes you might need help understanding what genre your script falls under, and understand the marketing demand for that specific genre that you're writing. Again, be flexible. Okay, so distribution channels. We have your traditional channels where you have your theatrical release, your physical media, DVDs and Blu-ray sales. Surprisingly enough, DVDs are still a hot topic in Europe. So don't think that DVDs are out, because definitely they are still a big hot commodity, is that the right word, inside the Europe area. So if you guys want to, create DVDs and sell them. Digital channels, streaming services, platforms like Amazon Prime, Netflix, Hulu, you name it, that's on there. Okay, and then we got our video on demand, where it's not as popular now, but you can still do it where it's through iTunes, Google Play, etc. And I know the bigger studios go into what we call the hybrid models, where they combine the traditional and digital release strategies to maximize the revenue, maximize the income that's coming from, or maximize the profit that's coming from the movie itself. I mean, here's some case studies. A Quiet Place. It was effective on the use of social media, right? They had really good teasers and trailers. They were really effective with the marketing. Blair Witch Project, the reason why I put this in there is because it was technically kind of like an indie project, an indie film project, but it blew up. It was a big hit. And they had very unique online marketing and campaigns that went viral because of their marketing strategy that was already in place. It was a lower budget production. They shot that thing for, I think, $20,000 was the whole budget that they had for that feature film, and it was a horror film. So there's some things to think about. I mean, it is possible to shoot a production on a $20,000 budget. Is it feasible? Probably not. But it can be done. It's been done. So, I mean, the one lesson I want you guys to take away with this is understanding the importance of marketing strategies and understanding the importance of building your target audience and figuring out where your film is going before you actually film it. And then, keep engaging with your crowd, your audience, and build that brand up with your movie itself. You want to get people excited about the movie. Because it is an exciting thing, both for cast, crew, and everyone involved, because they believe in you. All right, so this goes down to our last little subject of our overview today, pre-production. And we're going to break it down. Hold on for a second. I'm going to answer any questions that we have thus far. Okay. All right. Implementing AI in pre-planning of movie sets. Guys, this, as everyone knows, artificial intelligence is taking over. It is a game changer in production if we can use it the way that we need to use it. And will AI fully take over our jobs? No. because, you know, there's a difference with human and robotics. You know, robotics can only go so far. They have to go by what you are wanting, what they learn from you. They can't write a script for you, and if they do, that script will probably be emotionless, and it will be something that no one would want to see. But if you use it properly, this can speed up your workflow on the pre-production side and, you know, help you in the process of efficiently creating your pre-production Bible. I haven't mentioned that yet about the production Bible, but we have a production Bible here. The production Bible itself, you know, it depends on your film set, but this includes everything. It includes your budget. It includes your shot list, your storyboards. It includes your schedules, your call sheets, your cast and crew contact information. Everything is built within this Bible so that when we have it on set, we can literally refer back to it if we need to. So think about that. We'll break it into a production Bible on a different class itself. I think this is the most exciting part of the class is AI. I mean, wouldn't you agree? Artificial intelligence is literally helping us create dynamics in our film sets and helping us, you know, efficiently work. There is AI in script writing. Now, guys, I know ChatGPT, ScriptBook, ScriptHop, these things can help you, but the concept and everything should come from you. Don't let AI take over your writing abilities. If you get stuck on a scene or something, it's good to take in ideas, general ideas from AI and say, oh, well, this is a cool way. Maybe I could start implementing it going this direction. But don't take it on fully. And I highly encourage you guys to research it, you know, and just look it out. Because here's the thing is that each AI, they have their own algorithm set. They can analyze your script, but for your character arc and the narrative structure, but as far as emotions go, I mean, it's pretty bland, and sometimes it can be very cheesy and come off pretty bad. So think about that when you're using AI for script writing. You can, exactly, don't let AI write your script. Exactly. We don't let them write your script, but they can edit and refine it and fix your grammar issues like me. I'm very bad with grammar. Sometimes when I write, I just write and then I think about the grammar later. So it does help you with that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and here is the other cool thing. We're about to get into that. Storyboarding and visualization. There is AI software out there that can help you create storyboards for your film sets. Now, the difference between AI and hiring someone, I would prefer hiring someone if I could, but sometimes our budgets are on a constraint. So using AI can help you get the visual tone set for your film set. There's DID, Kubrick, Maverick, Storyboard AI. I mean, there's tons of different things that you can use. You can even use Midjourney or even Canva to create your visuals that you're wanting to see on your film set. And Midjourney, you know, you could type in the exact scene just like anything else, and it will generate some sort of representation of what you're wanting. If you're getting people involved on it, yeah, you'll probably have 3, maybe 4 limbs, or maybe no limbs at all, but it's getting better. But it does allow us to visualize our scenes quickly. It does provide a clearer vision of composition and sequences, and it does streamline our workflow, our pre-planning process in that way, in that regard. Yeah. Now, here's the cool thing. I just found this out. I just found a couple websites that are just pretty cool. It's AI in your casting decisions. Casting Droid, I was looking into this. It matches actors with roles based on performance, attributes, and past experiences. It's not entirely accurate, but it does work. And then there's Largo AI, where it utilizes the AI to discover different talents that are out there, and it will help you create that diverse cast that you're wanting for your film set. So, I mean, yeah, AI algorithms do assist in finding the best actors for specific roles. It does limit the time that you need to do regular casting calls, but it doesn't replace casting calls because you want those general conversations. It does promote diversity and representation in casting, and it opens up possibilities for discovering new talent. Yeah. All right, comprehensive AI tools for pre-production. This is a game changer, and let me just bring this up for you guys so you guys can see this. I wanted to show you guys this from the get-go. So, Ribbit AI, this assists in script analysis and breakdowns, providing detail. So let me show you guys. I want to show you guys Ribbit AI in Film U Stage, because these things, I used it. Now, I used it on one production recently, and with Ribbit AI, I think I still have my sign-in. Don't look. Okay, so I don't have my projects on here. So you can go in here, you can name your project. Let's say we want to do I have a project on here? I think I do. Yeah, so we could do, let's say Sweet Secret for a second. And for this, I'll just say the generic log line. Let me go in here to this to create it. Now I'm going to get the song in my head. Okay. Bear with me for a second. Let me bring this up for you guys. Okay. You know what? I'm just going to write out a generic one. We'll just say, in a world where life meets reality and cars are damaged. Not a good log line, but it gives us it's fun. Okay, so I'm going to go in here. I think I have it on my downloads. Do I have my PDF? I do have PDF. So what it does is that it'll upload it. You come in here, you'll say type of project, short film. This will give you everything that you're needing. And now here's the downside is that your max budget, it won't let you do anything less than $30,000, which is typical on some productions, but I know it's not feasible on some. So, I mean, it will help you. Oh, 35,000. Holy cow. Okay. It will help you get to the point where you need to be. Production state, you click on your state, which we're in Florida. And now we can come in here And wondering if, yeah. Okay. So we see our script here. It'll break down the coverage that you're wanting on here, which is crazy what it does. And it tells you like your premise and plot and breaks it down to the point where you get a whole treatment on the film. You can come in here and do character breakdowns, and it will tell you exactly what characters you're needing on set, and how many lines, what their age range will be, etc. You can also go into a general summary of your characters. You can come in here and get your shooting schedule, and it will tell you, oh, well, let's mark out these 2 days for that production. It'll give you a whole strip board. And then here's the cool thing. It will create a generic budget for you. I wouldn't use this. I would use it more as a template to give you a starting point, but don't use this to a T. But it does tell you exactly where you guys are needing to go when it comes to the production set itself. And here's the other kicker, is that it's set to only SAG productions. I know you guys probably won't shoot a short film on SAG, but there's that. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna go into, yeah, I'll show you guys that too real quick. We'll go into film use stage. Okay, so this thing is almost the same thing as Rivet AI. The only difference is it does give you a little bit more of a breakdown when it comes to it. I don't think I have an account anymore with them, but we'll see. If not, we can just look over the generics on it. I have used it once, but let me say that it doesn't replace Studio Binder. Studio Binder, it keeps everything in order. You can get all your shot lists in order, etc. Okay. So on here, it does give you your script, the concept itself, your summary, and your script breakdown. It will give you reports. So the reports will go into, let's say, your props. It'll tell you exactly your props. Like this saves a bunch of time while you're on set. Yeah. Okay. All right, yeah, so this saves a bunch of time. You'll go into your analysis. It will come into basically any kind of risks that you're thinking about that might happen, that might occur. And then also it does scheduling. Now, here's the thing, guys. Again, it doesn't replace things like Studio Binder or Yamdo. Studio Binder is just the industry standard for keeping everything organized. And if you guys don't have Studio Binder, I highly encourage you guys to look into it. It does do your call sheets, script breakdowns, everything that you're needing. Everything will be organized. It will create the production Bible for you. It does have its quirks, just like any other software. But right when you start learning the ins and outs on it, it's a whole different ballgame. Yeah. Okay. Let me go back in here. Okay. This goes back into the importance of human input, guys. Don't let AI take over your creative abilities. Point blank, you got to have human involvement. AI can only do so much. And I mean, as far as decision making, I mean, you got to make the ultimate decision. And AI is just there to assist you and give you ideas to help you speed up your workflow, or ideas to, you know, create something better. I mean, you got to put in the work still. I mean, that's just it. Nothing in life is going to be easy. You got to work hard at it. And what AI does, it reads, it has algorithms and it learns from you. It can't be you. You can be you. AI can't be you. So there's that. You got to be able to have your own say on everything. Don't let AI take over everything. Here's some tips for you guys. I want you guys to start practicing and, you know, start integrating AI tools into your pre-production phase, even in your development phase, when you're starting to do your scripts, when you're starting to put the concept together for the script itself. You know, integrate AI into it and have them help you out, come up with different ideas on marketing strategies, distribution, stuff like that. It can help you generate what you need to generate, but put in your own work on it. Do your own research. Don't just use ChatGPT for everything. Select AI tools that align with just your project needs, you know, like what we were showing you. Film Use Stage, perfect. It does a lot. Same with Rivet AI, and same with, there's another one called Shot Lister. I don't know if you guys seen it, but it will generate a generic shot list for your production based off of your script. I haven't really used it yet on a production yet, but because I just found out about it. But it is, I mean, it's crazy to see how advanced technology has come, and we can use it to our benefit. The one thing that I could say is, you know, script book is good to refine, is just solely there to refine your screenplay, and it does help you get more engaging and emotional responses on resonating your story out. And understanding your dialogue, because dialogue is the hardest thing, I think, when it comes to script writing. It's so easy to tell the story, and sometimes it can be difficult to show the story through the actor's emotions and the reactions and the action, because that's all what movies are, is action and reaction. And how are you going to act? How are you going to react? And then we got Kubrick, where it can help you out with your storyboarding and give you that clear vision for your narrative. And then Largo can help you with your casting and give you a list on diverse and talented groups of actors. Okay, so we're going to recap some of the key points that we learned today, and we're getting down to the wire. We're going to start wrapping things up. I've been on here for a little bit. So here's the conclusion, guys. Introduction to pre-production. That's what we have learned. We learned what pre-production really is. We learned pre-development versus pre-production, and we differentiated between pre-development and pre-production itself. The importance of a budget. We also learned marketing and distribution, the importance of it, implementing AI and pre-planning, and leveraging your AI in your marketing planning, and significantly helping you improve your pre-planning process throughout the production itself. you know, having that balanced approach with AI and human interaction to come up with decision making. And yeah. So do we have any other questions before we wrap up today? And like I said, guys, you will get this, you know, if you guys are a part of the subscriber on our email list, I will be sending this out to all our subscribers only. So go to lightinside.tv and you guys can subscribe to our email list, be a part of it. We got newsletters coming out, everything like that. There's a lot of new stuff happening with Light Inside Cinema. So I highly encourage you guys to do that. Yeah. All right, awesome. So that basically, it will sum up for everything that we have today. Yeah. Well, let me get the video back on. I don't know what's going on with it. Is it still on or did it die? I think it died. I think we're all dead right now. There we go. Yeah. So, anyway, does anyone else have any questions at all? Okay. All right, well, this sums up our class for today. Really appreciate you guys coming out and enjoying it. People watching live, I appreciate you joining in on our live session. We're going to have more classes coming up in the coming months, so stay tuned for that. I'm hoping to get some other people that are wanting to teach. We got a guy named Scott Christensen that wants to come out doing a script writing class. We're going to get acting coaches to come out to teach acting, etc. So I hope you guys are all excited about it. If you guys don't know about Light Inside Cinema, look us up. We are a nonprofit group, production company that believes in you guys. We want to build a community. That's what it's all about. Our main mission is to employ, educate, and create. So there's that. I hope you guys have a good day for good rest of your afternoon. I said that we were going to get done at 4:30, but guess what? We got done early. So I kind of went through everything. But thank you guys. You guys have a good day. Thank you live for tuning in, everyone that's on streaming. We're going to cut it out now.